Ah, man. I do be hating the intros though. Kind of sucks, isn't it? Hello everyone! Oh my god! Every video is gonna be the same. I'm not gonna ever let it go anyway. So today I wanted to make a video, the secrets of the Rushton company you didn't know. I don't know what I'm titling this video yet, but it's like all the secret things about Mary Rushton you never knew. Odd things about the Rushton company you never knew, or all the secrets about Mary Rushton you never knew, or secrets of Mary and things and stuff. So whatever I decide to title it, I mean that's pretty much what this video is about. Things about the Rushton company you guys don't know, because I never told anyone except for maybe 3 or 4 people, but they're of course not going to tell anyone. So now I can finally make this information public because I was really lazy and I figured it's probably time I tell people the secrets of the Rushton company and Mary Rushton and all the little details that no one knows except for anyone who maybe personally knew Mary and the company. Anyway, I wasn't sure if I really wanted to put all of this information in one video, or if I wanted to split it up, because I feel like I'm just giving away all the secrets, but this is, I guess, the ultimate secrets of the company and how things were and how things were produced, as far as how Mary would make her rubber face toys and stuff. So anyway, I guess we'll just do it. So if I hear this information anywhere else, I'll know you took it from me. It's okay, it's public information, you guys should know. But I'll know if it's anywhere else anyone talks about, you took it from me, homie. I know where it went. So last year in October of 2022, and Grandma could do the thing, pretend like I'm not reading. In October of 2022, I had the pleasure of speaking to a woman named Beth. She reached out to me telling me her grandmother, named Ruth, was Mary Rushton's private secretary for 26 years. Even after Ruth left her secretary position, her and Mary continued to stay friends long after. So this is information based off of Beth, her personal experiences with Mary, with the Rushton company, because obviously it wasn't me and I wasn't there, so whether you want to believe if this is true or not, I mean, why wouldn't you believe it? These are her personal experiences with the company, and it's stuff that no one else knows about. Maybe someday we'll get more information from other people. But until then, this woman, Beth, reached out to me. And so now we can talk about her personal experiences and stuff you guys didn't know. And it's going to be really fun. And it's going to be really exciting if you really care about Mary and love her work, okay? Beth knew and grew up around Mary Rushton as a child, telling me Mary was a very generous person, always giving away toys and expensive items she no longer wanted to her friends. Every year, twice a year, Mary would invite Beth and her sister to her company office to pick out 2 plush toys to keep. Mary had a bank vault installed in her office. No one knows that Mary had a giant bank vault installed in her office that she would invite Beth and her sister to pick out 2 plush toys to keep. She had this bank vault installed in her office that only 2 people knew the combination to. Of course, Beth eventually found the numbers to the vault one time when she was 6 and snuck in and played with Mary's secret prototype toys for an hour. This is where Mary hid all of her prototype stuff in the giant bank-sized vault, because people were probably stealing her work, as we saw in one of my other videos. It's probably the last video, depending on when I decide to upload this video. That's why she had the big vault in her office, you guys. Beth said it was pure bliss and that most of these toys were never made. She then continued to tell me how there was this one toy she really loved in particular, a toy I don't think we've ever seen. It was like a blue puppy and its head was turned, looking kind of at its butt and its tail, because there was a bumblebee on it. And she really liked that one. So if anyone ever finds that one, it might be cool just to kind of see it. Maybe I could send it to Beth. That'd be totally cool. Beth mentions how the Atlanta factory was huge, but she never entered through the main doors. She did mention how the rubber factory smell was horrific for her as a child. The smell was so invasive, similar to a tar smell. It was very distinctive, and she thinks because of that, she's never been a big fan of Rushton's rubber face toys, more so the soft plush ones. So this is an interesting part. No one knows this except maybe other people who I don't talk to, but this is how Mary would personally make her prototypes of her toys, at least the rubber face ones. But Mary would lock herself in her studio for a couple of days and not come out, which we have talked about this in a different video. Ruth, Beth's grandmother, who was Mary's secretary, Ruth, would knock on the studio door and leave a tray of food or tea for Mary outside the door because Mary was so hyper-focused on her work, she just wouldn't eat. Mary would draw out multiple different faces of how she wanted a certain toy to look. All kept in a notebook, which, wow, would be really great to see her notebook. That'd be like really amazing. Mary would then cast 5 to 10 rubber faces, hand paint them herself until she was satisfied with one, and then start production of it. Once in production, the toys were sewn and painted by other workers to match her approved work. Now, Beth said she thinks Mary was the first person to create the idea of hand-painted rubber face plush toys. We're not 100% sure on that, but that is her thought. Could be true, could be not, knowing Mary, kind of thinking, I know Mary, it could be true, but we don't really know. Opinions on it, because knowing Mary, that she's locking herself away in her studio and not coming out for days, and Beth said that she was an innovator, creating and coming up with her own toy designs and having bank vaults to hide all her prototypes in. I don't see why that couldn't possibly be true, so this will always be forever a mystery of who actually started the first rubber face toy. Beth said Mary was also a classically trained artist. As we know, if you've ever seen some of her earlier work, she does have talent. Mary can draw. And she started her toy career with her hand-painted stockinette dolls in the 20s. I did ask what year Mary was born in and how old she was. So she doesn't know a lot, but Beth said that she guesses Mary was born sometime between 1888 and 1893 because her grandmother Ruth was born in 1897. So assuming that you've watched my other videos and or been to my website and read about the Mawafil Company and Mary's history, you know that the Mawafil Company became the Rushton Company after she got married. Well, Mr. Rushton was a businessman and took care of the business side of the company while Mary was the designer. But eventually Mr. Rushton developed a drinking problem. I don't have all the small details of what happened, but Mary realized she knew just as much about business as her husband did. So Mr. Rushton was booted out of the company and Mary took control of both sides. Mr. Rushton had cirrhosis of the liver from all his drinking, and Beth says she thinks he died in his 50s. So after his death, Mary's pretty much just running the company by herself. I know her daughter White is helping her, but Mary is taking care of both business and the designing part. Mary had 2 daughters, as everyone knows, White and Polly. White worked with her mother as a toy designer and was very artistic, while Polly wasn't really involved. When Mary died, White took over the company, and this was going to be in, I believe, 1984, but White also had a drinking problem like her father and eventually died from the same thing, cirrhosis. Beth continued to tell me everyone knew White had a drinking problem, so it wasn't a secret. Before White's death, after she took over the company, she wanted to go one way with it, and the board of directors wanted to go a different way. Maybe there was never an agreement, so the company closed and White donated all the toys and dolls they still had to local churches. So with that being said, that makes me wonder how many prototypes, how many toys that we've never seen before are just out there because they were all donated. I'm sure a lot of them probably were thrown away, but every once in a while we still do find a prototype and you're never sure if it's Rushton's work or not. So one friend in particular pretty sure has a Rushton prototype. We've never seen it before. It's never been in a catalog or an ad or anything, but just the way it looks, and I'd like to think with my trained eye of knowing Rushton work, I'm pretty sure this is a prototype, and I would just love to know its journey and where it's been, if it was one of the prototypes locked in the vault and then got donated to a church. It's been living its little life with holding its little secrets of who it is and what it is, and we don't know, so we're gonna figure it out, right? Ooh. We're gonna take a step back. We're gonna get into some other details of Mary and her personal life and her thoughts, I guess. But Beth did say, Beth said Mary was never happy just being a wife and mother, which was common for almost all women of that time. To just be happy being a wife and mother. She wanted something more, and that was probably her company, which she very much succeeded at. Mary was a very well-traveled woman and often visited Europe. She's a very cultured woman, you guys. She also had a beautiful home which Beth would visit. There was a breakfast room that was painted in the art style of, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna totally be not what it is. Oh my God. oh, I don't know how to say this. Make fun of me, y'all, trompe l'oeil. Anyway, I Googled it. But Mary had a great love for art. If you Google it, you can kind of see what it looks like. I don't know. Should I put it down in the description below? I'll put it down how you actually say it. Don't make fun of me. I don't know things. Mary had a great love for art and wanted to surround herself with the best things. We all know of the peacocks that Mary had roaming around her property, which became famous, or maybe annoyingly famous, for how noisy they were. Mary loved how beautiful they were when they displayed their feathers, but then realized it was only the males that looked this way. Only the males were beautiful. So why have female peacocks? They were so ugly. So she had 4 noisy but beautiful boy peacocks, and her home became known as the Peacock House. Speaking of owning exotic animals, and some people know this, Mary also owned a pet monkey for a short time using, well, this is what Beth told me, that she sculpted Zippy's face based off of her own pet monkey's face. Eventually, she had to get rid of her monkey, realizing monkeys aren't really great animals to own as pets. So one question I did ask Beth, because I know that a lot of other people probably have this question too, is we all know this is probably Rushton's scariest rubber face toy. This one right here. So this scary bunny that people love and or really hate, however you feel about this rabbit, let's be real, it's kind of scary, right? So because that is one of the most unusual rubber face toys that Mary's ever made, because it scares the shit out of us, I did ask Beth, I said, did Mary ever make toys purposely scary or frightening? And Beth said absolutely not. She would never want to scare children. She did not make toys to ever frighten children, which leads me to believe what we all thought, that this is just a toy of its time. It looks scariest to us now, just like Scrappy Bear with his crying face. When my sister first saw that, when she first saw Maisie the cow, and when she first saw my Scrappy Bear, she was like, whoa. Like, it's so weird when you see it, you're like, this is a kid's toy that is like really scary and weird and creepy, but at that time it totally wasn't. It was normal. There was nothing wrong with that. So that really scary bunny, not scary at the time. That was totally, it was there was a word, there was an ad, they phrased it like bringing out distinctive like characteristics or something in Rushton toys. I don't remember how they said it. Maybe I should take a look. The Rushton Marineland ones, to capture the unusual in toys. And then on another one it says, be sure to see this unusual assortment at the toy fair. So I feel like they knew that their toys were different. Always mentioning that they're unusual, I guess, so maybe they knew. I swear there was another one, I just can't find it. To capture the unusual in toys. So I think very much trying to set themselves apart when it comes to their weird faces. Not scary though, they weren't scary, they were just different and unusual. But they were not scary. Also, some other information being, you know how we have the CocaCola Santa. Should we go get mine? Hang on. Okay, well, getting my Santa, 20 other things fell in the closet. So here's my Santa. Now he's supposed to be holding a Coca-Cola bottle in his hand, but he totally isn't, because and they get lost a lot. But anyway, I just put something else in there for Christmas time. So anyway, this is the Coca-Cola Santa. And Beth told me that the Coca-Cola company actually came to Mary and asked her to design a Santa for them. So they came to her to ask her to design them a Santa toy, which is this. She just didn't do this on her own. They actually came over to her like, hey, will you please make us a toy? And she was like, yeah! So here it was. There's a lot of Santas that came out. The Russian Santas came out apparently in 1957. And then there was lots of knockoffs, of course. Lots of Japan and Hong Kong started kind of knocking off the design. You're gonna see a lot of Santas that look like kind of Rushton-y Santas, but they are knockoffs. Alright, I'm a little all over the place when I'm talking about Santas. I don't want to get into the Santa thing. I'll make a separate video or whatever. But anyway, so these are the Coca-Cola Santas, and that I don't want to talk about it anymore. Santa. Ho ho ho. If you've ever gone on that Muse Technical website, looking at all the catalogs of toys, you'll see that in the 50s and 60s, there's a lot of Rushton toys kind of, you know, making appearances. But then in the 70s, they kind of start to disappear. But in the 70s, Rushton really drastically changes their design. And Beth did tell me that in the 80s, early 80s, Barbie was popular. Barbie was popular AF, so Rushton Company was not doing so well with their sales anymore, plush toys, just in general, like all the companies who were making plush toys, they just were not making a lot of money off of them because we had a whole bunch of other new dolls and Barbie come along, taking away all of their sales. You gotta keep up with what's popular and hot and keep up with the toys of the time, or else your company's gonna suffer. So anyway, that's probably one of the reasons why Rushton closed up, is because they weren't making really great sales. White and the board of directors couldn't make an agreement, so they're just like, well, screw this, we'll just close up. So again, I don't know all the details. It'd be really great. I could make another video if someone else wants to tell me things if they knew, but this is currently all that I know about the Rushton Company and secrets of things that you guys don't know. Well, that's all I got on this video because I'm actually starving and I'm starting to get crabby and I just want to finish this video because I really like to go. Maybe I'll just like go and eat some peanut butter or something because like I'm starting, you know, I'm trying to do a thing. Like I'm on a diet, right? It's really hard. Life's really hard. I'm trying to like make videos and stuff, but like, oh my God, I just really want to eat. So I just like want this to be over now. I'm struggling. Can you guys tell? Can you go back and watch the video? Can you tell? I'm so hungry. Here's my toys. Okay, I'm ending this video. I'm hangry. Okay, I had peanut butter now. I feel so much better and I'm not crabby anymore. So let me like finish this video up in a more calm manner before I like freak out and get angry. But I feel good. So anyway, I don't think Beth will ever watch this video because she has a very busy life and I had a very busy life around the holidays, so we kind of stopped contacting each other. So anyway, I'd like to thank Beth because she's the one who gave me all this information, and thank you for loving Mary and being a big fan of Mary, and she probably would say the same thing to me. Thank you for loving Mary and being a big fan of Mary so that we could share together this information into the world. Thanks for reaching out to me and giving me all this information on my God Queen of the Universe, and I really appreciate it. And also thank you to everyone who decided to watch this because you care about Mary and learning about Mary and things that you didn't know, and you love my God Queen of the Universe. So really thank yous all around. Thank you to everyone, and now the peanut butter is still soaking. My body is absorbing the peanut butter, so you know, we're getting there. We're getting back there, but anyway, we'll end the video. So I hope it was fun. You guys learned stuff, and I'm gonna go now and I'm gonna lay in my bed and let my body absorb the peanut butter. Last week I bought 3 jars of peanut butter, so all I want for Christmas is peanut butter.